I love cheese. Gosh, it's so good. I'm shredding up some Oaxaca cheese. It's a really super melty, creamy cheese, and it's great for quesadillas, which I'm making in a toaster today. So that's kind of exciting. I love a good trend, a good internet TikTok hack, and this is one of them. So I wanted to share and show you how to do it. I mean, a quesadilla is a classic snack, side dish, a complete meal if you add some protein to it, or not, just have it with cheese. So this shreds up really nicely. You can just pull this apart too, or cut it in slices. It's really firm, so I like to shred it just so it's a little easier to work with. It's kind of like a salty mozzarella cheese. What am I gonna assemble this on? I could use the countertop. Sure, let me just use the countertop. It's a clean countertop. Quesadillas are so easy to make, whether you make it in the microwave, a stove top, you can make it on a grill, a griddle, you can make them in a toaster too. So the way you do this, you gotta get some burrito action, and I use a blended cheese. This is some cheddar and Monterey Jack I shredded up, but I also have some of this Oaxaca cheese. I love the texture of this when it melts up. It's nice and gooey. I love the flavor of cheddar cheese. This is a sharp cheddar. Or you could just use classic American cheese. Any kind of sliced cheese works. So the technique is you want it as a rectangle in the center, kind of like you're starting to make a burrito. You'll fold the sides in and then you'll fold it up, keeping that cheese right in the center. You don't want it to leak out, just like that. Get our toaster in here. We'll start with one. So you fold it up nice and tight so nothing leaks out. You don't want any of that cheese gooing inside your toaster. You put it in, set it, and let it go. Let it melt, let that tortilla get toasted up. Easy peasy. So this is a great go-to if you don't want to spend time dirtying up a dish or a pan. You know, you could always microwave a tortilla and make a quesadilla, but the tortilla is never crispy, so this will give you a crispy outer tortilla and nice melty gooey cheese on the inside. Now, one word of caution, which I might have done because I was getting a little excited. You don't want to put a ton of cheese in there. You want it to all melt through before the tortilla, you know, gets too dark, too brown. So go light on the cheese, I would recommend. Let's see if this one melts correctly. How you doing in there, buddy? The classic thing with a toaster is like the dial is just either numbers or like darkness indicators. It's not necessarily a time setting. Each toaster is created different, so results may vary. Test this for your own toaster. Oh, I hear some sizzling. I hear that cheese getting melted. I'm getting nervous, so let's check this. Oh, we're good, we're good, we're good. We're not dark yet. Thing I'm trying to avoid is burning that tortilla before the cheese is melted. So I like to keep it on a lower setting, and you can always retoast it if it pops up too soon. Growing up, we had a quesadilla maker. It was like a flat top kind of griddle. You put your tortilla on, put your toppings, put another tortilla. It was like a panini press. You put the lid on and it made the little individual triangles of your quesadilla and melted everything together. I used that thing after school multiple times, but you have a toaster, you don't need a specialty quesadilla maker. You can just fold these up into little cheesy tortilla pockets. We're gooing. Oh, it's warm. It's very warm. This is radiating quite a lot of heat, making me a little warm. Here we go. It's perfect! So I canceled, but I put it back in the toaster just to let the cheese melt a little bit, let some of that residual heat keep it nice and warm, and melt that cheese through without toasting the sides more. I had to do the pop manually. Toasters just don't pop like they used to. But let me cut this and see how gooey it is. The browning, the toastiness is not only texture, but it's also flavor. And you can't get that in a microwave. And a toaster is just such an easy, quick way to cook food. But there we go, look at that gooey cheese inside. I mean, that's the quickest way to quesadilla. Oh, I love, whoa, we're gooing, we're leaking. That Oaxaca cheese, so good. I recommend you try it in a quesadilla. It just packs so much saltiness, so much flavor and texture because it's a chewier cheese. Even though it's nice and gooey and melty, has a great texture. But look at that, perfect quesadilla right in a toaster. Who knew? Yeah, so delicious. Gosh, I love cheese. Gosh, it's so good. One thing that's become my favorite swap when it comes to flour tortillas are the uncooked tortillas. You can usually find these in the refrigerated section, usually near where some of the Mexican cheeses are and sauces. So check your local grocery store for the uncooked tortillas. Now, it is an extra step to cook these up, but the flavor, the texture is so delicious. So I wanted to make a few quesadillas with these. And you can make these in batches and then put them back in the refrigerator and then use them. So it's not like you have to cook the tortilla and then put it in the toaster. It is an extra step, but I love these tortillas. They have such a good good flavor. The other method you can use is to do this. This usually works better with a smaller tortilla like this. I'm gonna put my cheese blend in there and just fold it like a regular quesadilla, but well, we're gonna do it in quarters. So we're gonna fold it in half, half again. Now you wanna make sure this cheese doesn't melt out. Back to our quesadilla magic machine and check my setting. In we go. When you're doing this, you wanna make sure your tortillas are nice and fresh and pliable. That'll make it easier to fold up and put in the toaster. If they're kind of old and brittle, they may break, the cheese may leak out. So you want a good fresh tortilla when you're doing this. If your tortilla is not fresh, we will have to get the help of another device. Just wrap it in a paper towel, put a paper towel on it, throw it in the microwave for a few seconds to get it a little more pliable, introduce some moisture back into it. I love it when you can find other uses for a device in your kitchen. Yes, we put, little waffles, toast, bagels, English muffins in here, but why not, mix up a meal? It's a little more difficult to put like a grilled cheese in here, but you can definitely make a quesadilla since that tortilla is nice and thin and will fit in here. Just a reminder as a word of caution, just make sure none of that cheese leaks out. You don't want that to get stuck inside of your toaster, so make sure things are nice and sealed. This can go just a little longer, but it's looking great. Ooh, I wanna keep it from leaking out. There we go. That's why it's a good idea to make sure that tortilla is nice and fresh. It doesn't have any holes or tears in it when you put it in here because you don't want that cheese to leak out. That could be very difficult to clean up. I'm just gonna combine my cheese blend, why not? This is something you can do too. I love preparing things in advance and making little kits. So you can shred your cheese, put it in portions or put it in a bag in your refrigerator, have your tortillas ready to go. So if you ever wanted to make these quesadillas, everything's all ready to go. It's already portioned out. A lot of dorm rooms, offices, you can't really have a full kitchen, but you can have a toaster. So this is a great way to have another option for a lunch. Let's check out quesadilla number 2, our triangle buddy. This is like a double-decker quesadilla since it's folded in half again. Same melty, gooey cheese. This tortilla is a lot flakier, a lot crispier. That's why I like starting with those fresh tortillas. They just have so many more layers and crispiness to them. The flavor of those tortillas is so good. Brands may vary where you are, but definitely check it out. If you've never tried the uncooked tortillas before, they're so good. Make them up in batches, keep them in the refrigerator for a few days, and then you'll have quesadillas super quick and easy. Ooh, I need some like hot sauce, or I think I have some salsa in here. I mean, quesadillas are so fun, so easy. I even put some green onions in here sometimes, jazz it up. I've even sprinkled that cheese with some chili powder or ground cumin just for some added flavor. So you can really get creative with quesadillas. Salsa's what it needed. Little brightness, little tang, little bit of spice, melted cheese. Sometimes keeping it simple is super delicious. I always dance when I chew. I don't go to restaurants and dance when I chew. They're like, what is he doing? Why is he dancing? Toaster quesadillas. Easy, gooey, yummy.